Welcome to Building Your Family. This is a podcast about donor conception, surrogacy, and all the ways the modern family is built. I'm your host. My name is Lisa Schumann, and today I'm here to talk to you about the fall. Why? Because it's so important to make sure that you regulate your nervous system, and there is no better time than the fall. So if you regulate your nervous system, as you know, if you've been listening to me for a while, you will make better decisions. You will feel better. You can stay in treatment. You can manage your children, you can manage your relationships, and you will be so much better off. So let's get started. Today, I invite you to be self-regarding, to find ways to manage your stress to help you get what you want in life. And this is the perfect time to do it. I will tell you why, how, and what you can do to regulate your nervous system and to set goals to set you up for a better future. Now, the fall is a great time to be self-regarding and to feel more in control in your life. When you're going through fertility treatment, when you're dealing with family building issues, you can feel so out of control, and that can be so dysregulating to your system. It's so difficult to not know what's around the corner, to not know what treatment's going to bring, to not know what's happening next. It is so difficult, and our bodies don't understand how difficult it is. Our bodies just activate that fight or flight system. Our bodies want to react because it doesn't know the difference between a bear coming at us or fertility treatment being unpredictable. So what can we do? In previous episodes, I talked about 3 ways to manage stress. One is to reduce stress. One is to increase positive experiences. And number 3 is to find areas that are inside of your control. Today, I'm going to talk about why the fall is such a great time to increase positive experiences and also gain more control in your life. When your body feels in control of something, no matter what it is, it helps to feel a little more balanced because your body doesn't know that you're redecorating your living room and that's why you feel better. Your body just thinks that you have more control in your life. So let's talk about why this fall is such a good time to take something on to help you feel better and to have more control in your life. So first, I want to say that this is completely doable. Do you know, in the next 3 months, if you just take 15 minutes a day to do anything, pick something, learn a new language, learn how to play the piano, start knitting. If you take 15 minutes a day, every day for the next 3 months, you'll have 22 hours of practice in that thing, and you'll be so much better by the end of the year, and you'll feel so good. You'll feel like you accomplished something, and your body will feel much more stable. Now, research shows that there are several differences between people who set goals in the fall and people who set goals in the winter. So it's very natural to set goals in the winter. Everybody does that for New Year's Eve. But setting goals in the fall can be so much more helpful. There was a study in 2002 by Norcross who looked at people who are setting goals in the winter and in the fall. And what they found was about 40 to 50% of Americans do set New Year's Eve goals, and yet only about 8% of those people actually keep them. And if you've ever joined a gym in January intending to be in perfect shape by the end of the year, you know what I mean. Most people fall off by February. So let's look at some differences. So the goals we set at New Year's Eve are typically like that, right? We want to get in perfect shape, or we want to change our eating habits, or something very broad and very general. And those things very often feel insurmountable. Even at the beginning, if we feel very ambitious, and culturally it makes sense because lots of people like to do that together, it's very hard to sustain that. Whereas in the fall, it's so much easier to pick something very specific and follow through with it. It's a short amount of time and it feels much more doable. Also, we're kind of culturally used to starting school in the fall and starting new things in the fall. Also, the cool weather can give us a different sense of ourselves and make us feel more energized. So there's many reasons why the fall can be a much better time to set your goals. So you may be thinking, I don't have time for this. I'm overwhelmed. I've got so much going on. And I completely appreciate that. And everybody has to think about what's right for them. But remember Parkinson's law. And that law says that time will expand to fit that project. So as you may have heard, very often people say, if you have something to do, give it to the busiest person in the office because they're more likely to accomplish that thing. So it's worthwhile thinking about, even if you have a lot on your plate, to put something extra on your plate something that's enjoyable, and something that you feel you can accomplish. Did you know in Parkinson's law, they looked at many different types of procrastination and ways people complete tasks? And they found that not only are people more efficient when they have less time, but they're also more focused. And it can be really helpful to get in that state of mind because that tells our bodies that we have control over our atmosphere, that we have control over what's happening in our lives. Even if the fertility treatment is not going well, we have this experience in our lives, even if it's a small amount, where we do have some control. And that can be so stabilizing. My name is Lisa Schumann. I'm a therapist, a researcher, an author, and I am passionate about helping people find a better journey to parenthood. I created the Center for Family Building to help people understand how to make decisions, not just for the short term, but for a lifetime. We have group counseling, individual counseling, couples counseling, and lots of other services that can help people find the answers that they're looking for. Just take a look at our website so you can see a few of the thousands of people we helped build a better path to parenthood. The decisions you make are too important to leave up to chance. Arm yourself with the right information. Take a look at our website and sign up for a session with one of our therapists, join one of our groups, or access one of our programs, and you will quickly see why our strategies are so effective. Now back to our episode. So what sort of projects should you take on? Well, it's important to think about what's beneficial to you. What's going to make you feel good? What's going to make you happy? What's going to contribute to your life? What's going to make your life better? And it doesn't really matter what it is. It needs to be something that's defined that you can look at and say, I can accomplish this thing by the end of the year. So I'm going to start now. I'm going to be very clear about my goals, and I'm going to set the course for something that I can accomplish before the end of the year. Maybe you decide that you and your partner are going to draw a circle around a 25-mile radius of where you live, and you're going to hike all the trails in that area because it's such a beautiful time in the fall. Maybe there's a series of movies or films or theater that you want to see, and you feel like you can do that every weekend and accomplish that by the end of the year. Maybe you join a book club and you want to read a certain amount of books before the end of the year or start a new language. You can learn ballroom dancing. You can learn anything that you'd like, but the idea is to find something that you can accomplish in the next 3 months and focus on it and chart a path towards completing it by the end of the year. So here are a couple of tips. Number one, when I start this project, I really like to buy a notebook like this, a school notebook, even if it's for kids. It starts in the fall and will take me to the end of the year because I can start to structure in my mind how I'm going to achieve my goals in a different way. It can be enormously helpful, particularly if you're going through treatment. If you know that, let's say, you're starting a cycle and it's 2 weeks before you're going to start the next cycle, and then maybe another 2 weeks before you know whether or not you have healthy embryos, and another 2 weeks before you know that you're going to be pregnant. So you have several weeks that you can block out in your calendar before you know that you're going to be pregnant. And during that time, it's really helpful to plan something else. Because as they say, a watch pot never boils, right? And as you're focusing on your fertility journey, you're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel stressed. And during that time, focusing on it more is not going to help you. It's just going to make time go slower. So why not take on something that's beneficial for you, something that can add to your life and also maybe give you some joy? Now you might say, well, I'm going to watch this film series, but I'm so preoccupied with what's going on in my life that while I'm watching this movie, I'm only paying attention to 20% of it. Well, that's 20% that you wouldn't have been paying attention to otherwise. You would have been feeling anxious or depressed. So it's really helpful to kind of think about different things that you can do and plan these things out. If you can make big commitments, even better. Buy tickets for things, sign up for a cooking class, do things where you know that you're going to be expected to show up, because then you will go and you might feel like I want to crawl under the covers and you may not feel like going, but at least you will go and that day is behind you. And I'm certainly not saying that you should waste your life away, but you do want time to go more quickly. So why not try to put some positive areas of distraction in your life that can help you down the road? Now, the second tip for you is to think about your life and all the things that you've done since last year. So, when you start your project, maybe you can start with a little bit of enthusiasm, thinking, this time last year I hadn't gotten into shape, or I was eating poorly, or I didn't have a new resume, or I didn't have a new job, or whatever has happened in this last year that you can look at and say, I've really accomplished X, Y, and Z, whatever that might be. It can feel really nice to feel good about yourself and start this project with enthusiasm. So I think if you're listening to this today, it means that you do want to do something for yourself. Taking care of yourself is really the first step towards parenthood. And you're going to have that transition from becoming a patient to a parent. And if you're a parent already, it's going to be really important to be there for yourself so you could be a good parent to your children. So come with me on this ride and think about something enjoyable that will also be distracting and will give you a sense of control in your life. Take out that notebook, write down all of the things that you'd like to accomplish, focus on the next 3 months and how you're going to accomplish your goals and feel good about yourself by the end of the year, regardless of what happens in your fertility treatment. So thank you for coming today. I really appreciate your time. And if you need to listen to this video over and over again, please do, or reach out to us on familybuilding.net. We are happy to help you. We have lots of resources. We are cheering for you and we are rooting for you. We really want you to have the family of your dreams and have the best path to parenthood possible. So thanks so much for coming and listening, and I will see you next time. Hi, it's Lisa Schumann. I hope that you enjoyed that video and I hope it helped you. And if it did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe because that's how we keep going. It's really important to us. And if you liked it, you might like this one.